Hey guys, hello. It's good to be with you all again, and it is time to show some vinyl records. As always, I'm guess I'm one of the lucky ones. Talking to people in the VC in cities that other people live in. Some people have stores open that they can go to, and some people don't where they live. Technically, I don't, because the two vinyl stores that were once open here have closed permanently. And if I want a vinyl dig, I have to travel an hour down the freeway to the next big city. And they have three stores open, though I only visit two of them. One I visit pretty often, the other two if I'm in the mood. Um, and I haven't been vinyl digging that much, but I do some vinyl digging, like today's video. Not a very big stack of records, because the one store I do like to go to, there's so many restrictions. Got to wear a mask, got to sanitize the hands before you walk in the store, which both of those are no big deal to me. Fine, but they only allow 4 people in a store at one time, and that really to me is no big deal either. I've had to wait in line a few times to get in there, but the line moves fast, and I'm amazed how fast people did get their records and leave, where I'm in there for damn near an hour. But yeah, I guess I'm not. By the time I get in there, there's no line, so I'm not holding anyone up. So I guess that's why I take my time. I think I'd feel guilty if I saw people waiting out there. I would kind of pick up the pace a little, just to be polite, I guess, and fair. But yeah, I mean, that's what slowed down my vinyl digging. Number one, I only go to one store now, and number two, the restrictions at the store. That's why I'm not going to participate in Record Store Day, which is this weekend. As I'm sitting here filming, it's a Wednesday evening. Today's the 26th of August. Record Store Day falls this weekend, which is the 29th of August. The one store I do frequent in the next big city over, which is Sacramento, a place called Kicksville Vintage, which is a half vinyl store, half antique shop, where they sell antique furniture and stuff for the home. Really cool place, owned by some very, very nice people. Very nice people. And I did see that they were going to participate in Record Store Day, and I'm not going to go over there because, number one, 4 people in the store at one time. It's Record Store Day. I'm sure there's things people want, so that it's going to draw a lot of people. They're going to get there right when the place, or a half hour, 40 minutes before the place opens, to secure a good place in line. So there's going to be a big line just to get into this place, and it's going to move very slowly, I'm sure. So by the time I get in there, if there's anything I would want, I'm sure it would be gone by then. This is not a big store. A very small retail space, so I figured they're not going to get much Record Store Day stuff. Well, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, but that's why I chose to sit this Record Store Day out. Just until quarantine is fully lifted and everything goes back to normal, if that ever happens. But anyway, that's just my rant. I figured I'd do the rant before the video and say afterwards. Let's look at some records, right? This is the records I scored in the last few weeks or so. We're going to start off with Psychedelic Furs. Their new record, Made of Rain. I love this album. I wouldn't say I love the whole album, but 70 to 80% of the tracks on here I think are very good. Very good. It's a very strong album from the Furs. And it's been a long time since they put out a record. A very long time. And the lead singer of this band, I forget his name. I think it's Richard Butler, but I'm not sure. Let me just check here real fast. Where's the... Yeah, I was right. Richard Butler. Well, how about that? The memory serves me right. His voice still sounds really good, just like it did back in the 80s. There's the gatefold of the album. Really good album. Side 1, killer. No filler. And pretty much all the other sides. Side 4, I sense the material starts to thin out a little bit, but I can still listen to it and still enjoy it. So, but otherwise, this is a strong I guess you could say, comeback album for the Furs, because it's been a while since they recorded. There's the album, there's a label. This album, at the time it was released, was really getting a lot of hype from a lot of people here on the VC. And I love the Psychedelic Furs. I have a lot of their records. They're all mostly the 80s records. And I saw them live once and really enjoyed them. And so, yeah, I was pretty excited to get this record. It's a 2-record set. The other record, exact same label as what I just showed you, but 2-record set. Yeah, I am a fan of the band, and after seeing them live one time when they did a co-headlining show at the church, they sounded great that night. Both bands sounded great that night, but so did the Furs, and really made me want to buy this album. And of course, seeing all the hype from the people in the VC, it really made me excited and curious to listen to this. And I listened to one track online, which is what is the name of that song? "Come All Ye Faithful." That was the only track I sampled online, just to get a taste of what this album, the sound of that song, and maybe the vibe of the whole album, hopefully. And off that one track, I was real excited, and I ordered this album online. Everybody in the VC is, of course, showing the purple colored vinyl edition. This is, as you can see, I ordered just the black vinyl, which I'm very happy with. It's the music that matters, not the color of the disc. Though the purple vinyl that I see on the VC, that looks pretty sweet. Now I kind of maybe wish I had ordered that version, but I am more than happy with my black vinyl version because the music on here is really good. It's a strong album. I wish we were having concerts again. I would definitely buy a ticket to see this band perform these new songs live. The Boy That Invented Rock and Roll, great song. Don't Believe, You'll Be Mine. But my favorite track probably on here currently is a song on side 3 called No One. Right now the song No One is my favorite song on the album, but the first 3 songs on side 1, well, side 1 only has 3 songs, but the first 3 songs of this album really kick off the album in a good way, and by the time I get to my favorite song, I'm happy. Very strong album, kind of a dark sounding album in a way, but the Furs always had that kind of dark, edgy sound, and you can definitely hear it on this album. Very good record, very good record. Very excited for the Furs. When this like I said, when this quarantine finally lifts, we can have concerts again. I'll be looking for them live if they tour America. I'll definitely buy a ticket. It would be great to hear those songs live. All right, next up is from Primus, "Selling the Seas of Cheese." An album I've had on CD for a long time, since I was in my 20s. And always been my favorite album from Primus, "Selling the Seas of Cheese." I don't have much Primus on vinyl, however. I think this is only my 3rd album from Primus on vinyl. But I do love the music of this band. Very unique sound, of course. And very good memories of this record, of this album. When this album was new back in the early 90s, I saw Primus live as they were promoting this as a new album. And when I saw them, they were opening for Rush. I think Rush had their Roll the Bones tour, so this must have been 1990. And I saw them in Sacramento, and Primus opened for them. And the big song from Primus at the time was Jerry is a race car driver. And Jerry was a race car driver. And that was like, at the time, that was the only song I knew from Primus. I didn't have the CD yet. And they blew me away when they opened for Rush. I mean, that was a great show. It was like the Power Trio tour. Primus, and then here comes Rush. It was a great night, needless to say, great night. And the crowd loved them, and that, I love that evening so much, I went and bought this album, or the CD of it, like a few days after seeing them live at Rush, and been a fan of this album ever since. This is a reissue that came out a few years back. Les Claypool does an updated stereo mix on this album. It sounds really good. it was really good to hear these songs again, like Sgt. Baker, American Life, which is probably my favorite song on the record. Jerry was a race car driver. Eleven's cool. Tommy the Cat, probably my favorite Primus song out of everything they do. Just a great, those damn blue-collared tweakers, another good song. Great album, and brings back a lot of good memories. I love this, so I'm really glad I got this. That sounds great. I've already spun it quite a couple times, and really enjoying it. This I bought because of, what the hell. I love this artist, and would like to throw anything obscure from him in the collection. Michael Jackson's Greatest Hits Live. This is basically a bootleg from a concert he did back in 1987 in Japan, September 27th, 1987 to be exact. And the tracks from that concert: "Want to Be Starting Something," a Jackson 5 medley of "I Want You Back," and "The Love You Save," which goes into "Off the Wall," "Rock With You," "Beat It," "Billie Jean," "Shake Your Body," "Thriller," and they threw a couple extras on here: "Man in the Mirror," and Black or White. Yeah, Black or White. Forget the names of the titles sometimes. So it's basically a bootleg record, but it sounds really good. The mix is pretty good. Most of these are TV broadcasts. Like the Japanese show from '87 was from a pay-per-view event, I believe. So it's audio from a pay-per-view event. But for a bootleg, it's put together pretty nicely. It comes with this insert. I haven't really read this yet. Just looked at the pictures while listening to music. So I haven't really read what this says yet. And nice looking labels too for this. So it's put together pretty nicely. Look at that. Not bad. And there's all the name track listing there for both sides. It's a cool album. If you're a 80s Michael Jackson fan, this is a cool thing to have. Almost like a souvenir, really. These unofficial live bootlegs on vinyl. They're fun to own. Don't expect much in the sound quality department. I'm not saying this sounds like crap or anything. It does sound good. It's multi-track pro-recorded. It's just it's audio taken from TV broadcasts. Like the last two tracks, I think, were taken from an award show. So, not an official live recording, but still not bad. And it sounds great. Cool thing to have. And I'm a fan of Michael Jackson during that time. So, cool record to have. Now, this is definitely a very cool record to have. Steely Dan. Can't Buy a Thrill. This is a good album. The big hits on here, of course, Do It Again and Reeling in the Years. I mean, those are classic songs from Steely Dan, but the whole record is pretty solid. I dig this album. So glad I bought it. There's the gatefold, which is a really cool band photo. Oh, such a good album. Even though I've heard Do It Again so many times on classic rock radio, it sounds so cool to have my own vinyl copy of it. I mean, I do have a copy of the song on the Greatest Hits album I own, but nice to have the album it's from on ABC Records. Really good copy, too, considering it's a pretty old copy. It's in great condition. The cover's in great condition. The vinyl's in really good condition. And plays really nice. Good mix on this. Very good mix on this. I love cranking this album out. This is a fun record to have. When we started this whole quarantine business, I started posting records I was listening to while I was quarantined at home. I remember I made a note that I didn't have much Steely Dan in my collection. At the time, I only had 2 records. Greatest Hits in Asia, so I made a mental note. The few times I'm allowed to go digging, look for Steely Dan records, and I've been getting a lot of them lately, and this was the one I really wanted the most. So really glad to put that in the collection. And speaking of Steely Dan, it's always nice to put something extra and rare. This is another bootleg album. Steely Dan, a live record, bootleg record. And this is recorded live in Memphis, April 30th, 1974, Ellis Auditorium. So an old live recording of Steely Dan. According to the credits, this is when Jeff Porcaro was still in the band. So really cool to get some live recording of his drumming while he was still with Steely Dan. So this was an FM broadcast, because it definitely sounds like an FM broadcast. Not saying, like, again, not saying it's crappy or anything. It's just bootleg quality, but still pro-recorded FM broadcast. It sounds good, and they caught a really cool show from this band. You can tell the audience is really into it. The band is still really young and sounding really hungry, and so many chops, so many good licks on this record. Oh my God. This is a fun live record. I've spun this a few times too since I bought it, and don't regret it. Don't regret it one bit. I have a great time with this album. It's got the Boston Rag, Do It Again, Brooklyn, some of my favorite songs I'm mentioning here. Ricky, Don't Lose That Number, Dirty Work, Reeling in the Years, Showbiz Kids is the encore song. So just to name a few. I mean, this is a really cool bootleg. So glad I got it. It kind of ends up the Steely Dan collection really well. Though there's still more records to score from them, I'm sure. But I might take a little break on Steely Dan. This is a record I already owned, but my used copy kind of sucked. So it's nice to get this updated copy. This is actually a reissue. It's Vanilla Fudge, self-titled. I already had this on vinyl, but it was an old partied out copy I got used for a couple of bucks. But I've always liked this record. It's like it's all covers, but it's psychedelic covers, and really cool. In fact, one of these songs was featured in the movie Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Keep Me Hanging On. So that song is featured in the movie. And it sounds great on here. Really good on here. I love the cover of Ticket to Ride, People Get Ready, Keep Me Hanging On, like I mentioned, Eleanor Rigby. I mean, there's some cool covers on here. Psychedelic rock sounding covers. This was a cool band. I bet you this band was just the shit back then. The late 60s, I believe. Great band. Great record, too. This is a reissue that came out, I think, in 2013, I believe. I may be wrong. I'm not sure. On the Sundays label. There we go. And a really well done reissue of it. There's the label, Sundays. And like I said, it sounds so good on my stereo. I know it's, obviously this is not a original pressing or anything like that. That would be cool to own. But this sounds so good. This sounds so fucking good. I gotta spin this again. The first time I spun it, I really cranked it in here. It got loud in here. And I was just having a great time listening to this. This was such a good album. Oh, I love this album. I'm so glad I got a better copy of it now. I mean, the first one I bought, I just wanted to hear what the record sounded like. And really loved it, but I just wish I had a better copy. Well, now I do. I'll probably just check my old one. Such a good album. So good. Vanilla Fudge. Alright, last 12-inch record I'll show. This is a 12-inch single from Soft Cell. Tainted Love, Where Did Our Love Go? Really cool find here. There's the back cover, the picture. Really good early 80s song. This song's really survived the test of time. It's still around. People still like this song. They still dig the song. When it comes on the radio, people sing along to it. Everybody knows it. It's one of those tunes that will never go away. And so it's kind of cool to have this on a 12-inch single. I do have the album it is from, which now I can't remember the name of it. I'm drawing a blank all of a sudden. But it is such a good song. I got the extended version on here, which clocks in at 8 minutes and 57 seconds. Might as well say 9 minutes. On side 2, we have Memorabilia and Tainted Dub, which is an even longer version at damn near 9.5 minutes. So, but I really dig this 12-inch single. Such a great song. I like the artwork on it. Very cool. So real glad to score this one and put it in my 80s record collection, because this song is an undeniable 80s classic. I love this song. So Tainted Love from Soft Cell. Last thing I'm going to show you, which is a 45. This is an original pressing, a Japanese pressing from U2, New Year's Day. Definitely one of my favorite songs from U2. This is early years U2. Such a good song on the Island label, Island Records. So really cool. And Japanese pressings, just, they attract me. They attract me. Of course, here's the front cover. In the back we have all the credits written in American and English and Japanese. So nice, very nice. And you know, it's cool to find these things in the wild. This one was a little pricey, but being a big U2 fan, big fan of this song, and I like to collect Japanese pressings of records that I've always loved. It's nice. It's a nice thing to go after. I like it. I like going after Japanese pressings whenever I can. And this was one I just couldn't leave on the shelf. I think I already have a 45 of this song, but to find original pressing Japanese, I know I'm not going to see that again, so I took the bait and brought it home. I'm glad I did. This is a very cool find. I'm so glad I got this. So there we are, U2, New Year's Day, Japanese pressing. Well, that's going to do it, folks. That is the little record haul for the day, or for the last couple of weeks. If you guys are going to do record store day this weekend, let me know what you guys are after. To tell you the truth, I kind of made up my mind a long time ago I wasn't going to participate, so I don't even know what's being released. I have not followed up on this at all. So chances are, if I look up the list, I'll see at least 2 or 3 things I actually want, and who knows, I might actually go out on Saturday, but we'll see. Anyway, please leave me a comment. Let's chit chat. My favorite part of these videos, talking to you guys. So I'll see you in the comments, and thanks for stopping by. See you in the next video.